You ever get the thing where you're sick and you pass out at some like weird time, usually during the day, and then you wake up and you're like, "Oh God, what what year is it? Who am I?" And one of those. Ooh, I was under 3 blankets, which is a lot of blankets to be under, because when you're sick, I was trying to rub my eye. Hold on, hold on. But when you're sick, you tend to get really heated up because your body's trying to kill whatever's in you. Which, one blanket tends to trap the heat, but 3, ooh. I was a human oven. I kind of surprised that I dodged that, honestly. Yep, mistime dodge. Okay. Oh, I dodged the wrong way. Okay. I was gonna say, at least, like, the brain fog is gone now, but doesn't mean I'm gonna be doing good. For that attack? Ow. Uh. Okay. I apparently forgot how to dodge it after dodging it perfectly a few times. It's like, normally I'm really good at dodging that. Okay. I can't compliment myself or it will immediately go down the drain. The universe will immediately go, no. Absolutely not. Ew. Got him. And malformed dragon set. So there's the normal tree sentinels, which you can find one at the very beginning of the game, outside of the first step, like right here. And you can find another 2 right here, just left of Outer Wall Phantom Tree, which is a weird name, but 2 there. But then there's also the Draconic ones, which there's one here where you can get the weapon and the shield, and then one here where you can get the armor, which is nice. Now, I consider that to be a mini-boss, because, like, there are bosses, and then there's enemies that are, like, basically bosses, but the game doesn't fully commit to that. Like these ones, where it's basically a boss. It is a very powerful one-time enemy with a lot of health. Usually with a special reward. But then there's... But, like, they don't have a boss health bar. And so I consider those to be mini-bosses. And, like, NPC invaders and NPCs that are just there, I consider them to be mini bosses as well. Now, oh yeah, I forgot that I had this on. I put this on for, yeah, that's like 250 HP. We'll put this on just to get the health going up a bit. But I think what I might do is take this off to put this on, because vastly boosts non-physical damage negation. That'll hopefully help me survive. I mean, no, I'll keep this on, and then once I get to full health, I'll take this off and replace it with this. Because we're about to go into Malenia, a glass cannon boss. So, low health, but very high damage and mobility. And we're wearing a pretty low defensive set. Like, I usually go into this with, like, Blide's armor, or I don't have it right now, but, like, Lionel's armor, or maybe, like, the Bull Goat set, or, like, maybe the Crucible set. Let's take Blide's armor. Just looking at the chest piece, 14.6 compared to 5.3. I'm going in with, like, a third of the amount of... I forgot there's no cutscenes here.
I will not have it stolen from me again.
Whatever you say, man. Oh. Yeah, this is his low damage phase. And I mean, yeah, he does some damage. So he also has a lot less mobility in this phase. I mean, he's still definitely got mobility. Just not nearly as much. Because, I mean, he can go flying in phase 2. There we go. Very cool visual design. And I don't like this. I don't like this visual design nearly as much. Ow. Please. Please. Use. Yeah. This is kind of what I mean when I get confused by people saying, like, oh, ashes aren't meant to do damage, they're meant to be distractions. I would just go, what are you talking about? Because, like, might just be a me thing, but ow. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna win this. Yep, we got too greedy. Should have done one shot instead of two. Okay. Now, This feels weird being on the back foot. Because normally my thing with bosses like Malekith are be super aggressive. Oh.
Witness tarnished. Why cover destined death?
Oh.
To kill what?
Depression. Wow. Good job, us. We did it. High five. Didn't think we were going to do that first try. But, yeah, since I normally do melee builds, my thing is to roll into his attacks. Because that gives you a lot more opportunities to hit the boss. And it also... Ooh. It also tends to take less stamina, which is nice. Now, yeah. Level 118, 50 health, 40 mind, 40 intelligence, 30 strength. I think the 9 endurance, 12 dex, 7 faith, and 9 arcane are probably just because we started out as an astrologer. Maybe the 12 dex might have been us leveling up dex a few times for like a weapon or something. Like using some normal hammer or just some other weapon. Who knows? But fully upgraded Academy Glintstone Staff. We didn't use Gavel or Cannon of Haima. We purely used Great Glintstone Shard because with Gavel, Malekith simply has too much mobility. He just gets out of the way. Cannon, he simply has too much speed. He'd punish us before we could get it off. So, when I started this run, I was really worried that, well, before I started the run, I was really worried that it was just going to be a pain, like endless pain, because I didn't know that they used, or I didn't remember that they used Great Glintstone Shard because I hadn't fought any in a while. Yeah, up there is where we fought the duelists, or where we looked at the duelists. Didn't fight in this run. There was a Valiant Gargoyle there, over just above the pointy hat was West Capital Rampart. Now, over there, under the giant bolt thing, you can find like a little sewer manhole thing. Not entirely sure what they're called. But you can use, like, you can drop into that to get the Crimson Amber Medallion +2 for health. But we're not using that. But yeah, at first I was really worried that I was just gonna have the Gavel and Cannon and they were gonna suck. And then, because like I was gonna do this run as a challenge run, and then I looked a bit more and I was like, oh, they use Great Glintstone Shard. That's wonderful. I'll have something else to use. But then I got really worried that I was only, like, I was going to over-rely on Great Glintstone Shard because I didn't think these two would be very good. But then patch 1.07 hit, and they got buffed, which made me feel a bit better about doing it. And then I started using them, and I was like, oh, the Gavel's actually really good close up, and the cannon is actually really good at range. So I was like, okay. Also, I don't think this like Stake America or this, I don't know what they're called, summoning pool, these like little summoning pool things. I don't think they're here until you kill Malekith, because you come here before. You come in from the other way over there. There's like a tree over here. It burned away when we burned, like when we set some fired things. But you can kind of see a bit of the branch there. But you go up and around. And then after beating Golden Godfrey, you can come out this way. It's a side path. Now, for Mimic Tier. Again, I have kind of this unwritten rule that I'm only allowed to use Mimic Tier, well, S tier ashes, which Mimic Tier is one of them, 5 times in a run. I used them twice already, once for the dual Valiant Gargoyles and Nokron, once for the Lich Dragon at the end of Fia's quest. And I was going to save 3, one for Malekith, one for Malenia, one for Radagon. I was going to give Helios a few tries because, like, on Malekith, because I was like, maybe they can do it. But I had no faith in that. But, I mean, they died, but we did it, so good on Helios for that. Which means we still have 3 uses of Mimic Tier. Which is great. I don't think I'm going to use them 3 times, but now here's Gideon.
Ah, I knew you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. It's a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit, but alas, none shall take the throne. Queen Marika has high hopes for us, that we continue to struggle. Unto eternity.
Whatever you say, man. Ow, that did a lot of damage, actually. Common Azure. For some reason, he only shoots it for a second, which is kind of weird, but Gideon gonna do Gideon, I suppose. And part of Gideon doing Gideon is him getting bashed in the face by an 8-foot-tall Battlemage. And their 4'7" companion. Yeah. It's like, this is something I can see. Where it's like, saying that Battlemage, or Ashes, act as distractions. This is one of the few instances where I look at that and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Because this is one of the few times where they're actually being a distraction. Oh boy. Ow. I mean, it didn't do as much damage as I thought it would, but still did damage. Alright. Okay.
You fought well until now.
Until now. Yeah. This is the point where it's like S tier ashes start becoming the go-to. Because once you hit Mount House of the Giants, Grave Ashes, they just start getting like a 1 to 2 shot. For the most part, which sucks. And then it's like, even Ashes, like Hugus, where it's like, they're ghost Ashes, but they aren't the S tier really survivable ones. Oh, that's, I think, Comet. Yeah. Makes sense. Also, I should probably not just spam the gavel. Or, probably shouldn't just spam the cannon. Because cannon very slow and lets Hugus get wailed on. Now, again, from what I've heard, a lot of people say that Ashes are meant to be, like, the distractions. Again, for the most part, I disagree with that. I think instead of being distractions, they're more like complementary damage. Because the first attempt of this, ow, Hugus was very much the distraction. He was my distraction boy. And both of us died before this point. But now here, I'm not using him. There we go.
My bones, a tarnished, cannot become a lord.
Uh-huh.
Not even you.
Well, no, not me.
A man cannot
Not a man.
kill a god.
Scepter of the All-Knowing, one of, if not the longest hammer, and then All-Knowing set. But yeah, it's like, when I used Hugus as... Like, when I used Hugus as the distraction, they died before the fight was even halfway over. And then I died at, like, the halfway point. And then second try there, instead of using Hugus as the distraction, I used them as complementary damage. And both Hugus and I survived until the end. So, I can definitely see why people would think that Ashes are meant to be distractions. But I disagree with that. And I think that fight is a good showing of why. Because you as the player character can dodge. You know how to dodge. And assuming you don't think, assuming you're not an idiot that thinks that you can tank hits wearing this, like me, you're probably gonna do pretty good at dodging. But ashes don't do that. Ashes will just straight up sit there and tank all of your hit, or all of the enemy's hits. And then there's these two. I guess we can buy this. And we are a battle mage of reliably. We must collect all of the magic things. So there we go, we collected all the magic things. Okay. And yet, normally, or like, Gideon sits here until you kill Malekith. The second you kill Malekith, they're out. They're gone. They immediately, instantaneously 180 to become a boss.
Who are you? Oh. I must be a blacksmith now. Let's get smithing.
That's really sad, but if he doesn't remember anything... Oh. Okay. Yeah, I skipped a lot of quests. Yeah, skipped a lot of quests. And that's one of the ones that I skipped. And so that's the end result of that. We're not getting her help. Now, when we came up here the first time, this run, and I said I hate how you go through this fog gate, and instead of ending up directly in front of the fog gate, oh, you can see him there, that's cool. But instead of ending up directly in front of the fog gate, you end up like 10 feet away from the boss. And I hate that because it puts you at a disadvantage. Yeah, well, look where we end up. Ow. Fighting Godfrey, I feel like is very different from fighting a lot of the other bosses. Boosh. And oh, you need to get into this like different feel for fighting him compared to other bosses, because other bosses you dodge the attacks. Ow. With Godfrey, ow. You jump a lot of the attacks. Oh, yeah, ooh.
'Twas nobly fought.
Wow. Alright. Alright, so this is when we do a little thing called putting Mimic Tier there. Wow. Did not do well there. Alright, so it's down then right. Yeah, see, look how far away we end up. Or, like, how far we start. Because the first time, it puts you at a disadvantage because you start, like, right next to him, basically. But then after that, like, any subsequent tries, I got greedy. But any subsequent tries, you start away, or you start pretty far away. And so it's like you get plenty of time to set up. That probably should have hit me. Again, this is the game of free W's and free L's. Alright. Oh, nice. Okay. That's certainly a choice. That's certainly a choice. That is certainly a choice. Okay. Oh, damn. Yeah, it was just like 3 running slams back to back to back. Okay. Okay. Alright. Normally I have Nefeli here. So normally I have Nefeli here. Oh boy. I got greedy. I was about to save. If that grab attack hit me. That would have sucked. Because I was annihilated. I had to annihilate. That poor dodge button. Ooh. Oh boy. Yeah, that. Ooh.
Tarnished. Thy
Oh.
strength befits a crown.
Thank you. Oh. I'm not gonna be ready for these last 2 bosses. I'll be honest with you. How many levels did that give me? 7. Huh. That's 149 HP. I'll do it. Ooh. Man, I was not ready for that. Because normally I have higher defenses, like a higher defensive set. And then that means that Mimic Deer is a higher defensive set. And then I also have Nefeli Lu, which my ashes are for damage. Nefeli is more of a distraction. So that way, maybe Gear and I can heal and whatnot. But man. So let's see. This started off with mini boss here, difficult fight here. So that's 2. And then 3, and then 4. And then we got 5, and then final boss 6, 7. Yeah, Malenia is another one of these fights. Like, look at it. Look at this. Look at this. Look how extremely far away from the opening we start. We don't need to start that far away. Oh boy. Oh yeah. This is definitely gonna be a fight. This is definitely going to be one of the fights of all time. Oh boy.
I am Malenia.
Wow.
Blade of Mikola.
I've never seen that. I have never seen, or at least I've never been hit by that move before. I don't think. Alright, real quick, let's just sort chest, let's just dupe. Let's just clean house real quick on these. And then memorize spell, just take that off. And we'll still have these 2. Honestly, I'm not sure if I need 9 Crimson Flasks. I don't think I need 9 Crimson. We'll go in and just see. Good start. I accidentally used the wrong thing first. But yeah, this is when this is where the real challenge comes. Like the challenge of the challenge run. That probably should have hit me, but alright. Slurp this. That's the first one. Ma'am, please don't. It's rude. Yeah, so... Oh boy. I'm... That's yikes. Yep. Mentioned it before, but... The whole, like... Using the gavel twice in a row... is not great. Bonk. Okay. So we're already down 2. Oh man, you're just going in, aren't you? Oh boy, I'm dead.
I am
Yep.
Malenia, blade of Mikola.
Yep. I'll be honest, I'm not sure. Not entirely sure I have the ability to beat her, because, yeah, she's Malenia, and look at these defenses. Like, don't get me wrong. Slurp. Gavel and Cannon are a decent combo for, like, knocking her down. But she's overtuned. Which, like, that alone is not enough to stop me. Ow. I rolled the wrong way. Like, it's definitely possible to beat an overtuned boss while limiting yourself. Absolutely possible. Ooh. Ow. The thing for me is... well, there's a lot of things. It's the fact that she gets health back. It's the fact that she has waterfowl dance. It's the fact that she gets health back from... I'm dead.
I am
Yep.
Malenia,
It's the fact that she gets health back from ashes. It's the fact that ashes don't dodge. And so she just gets a... like, yeah, your ashes can be good, but they're also basically a health pack for Malenia. I think I'm gonna do 2 more tries if they... if I don't... if I can't even hit phase 2 within 5 tries... what was that? If I can't hit phase 2 within 5 tries because I'm impatient, and don't want this to be like 5 hours of me getting stomped. Oh boy. I'll go and see how I can do against Radagon. Yeah. The way I see it, Malenia is basically just a Malekith on steroids. Because it's like... the high damage, the high mobility, the, like, super move that does massive amounts of damage, and is also a flurry attack. Because remember, one of Malekith's biggest attacks is actually a flurry attack. Already down 2 flasks. And haven't even hit phase 2. And there's a giant chunk of health bar for it. Oh no, they procced Frostbite. Big W. Big W.
Let your flesh
There we go.
by the scarlet rot.
Yep. I used to know how to dodge that. I no longer know how to dodge that. Hold on. Do we do? Okay. Because Quickstep got nerfed, but I know one of the... Because, like, I had 2 strategies to avoid that. One of the 2 strategies was swap to Quickstep weapon, spam Quickstep around in a circle. And it got nerfed, so don't know if that will be a viable strategy still. But it's better than getting one shot. That was rude. Ooh. Hyper arming. There we go. Ow. Hyper armoring through a giant magical gavel is fun. I don't think it's broken. I'm just impatient. Now, boosh. Boosh. Okay. Now, boosh. I want her attention to be on me when she uses her big old flurry, when she uses waterfowl. Ma'am, please stop. I want to kill you, and I only have so many flasks. Yeah. Like I said, change one thing about Malenia. Make it where she doesn't get health from ashes. Make it so she doesn't get health from ashes. And I think she'd be fine then. Just that one change. Not a big change. But just so that doesn't stop happening. Okay. Because that always happens. Every single time. It seems like she... This might just be a me thing, but it feels like she never wants to waterfowl me. Again, might just be a me thing, but it feels like she always wants to waterfowl my ashes. Because it's like, she knows that if she waterfowls me...
I am Malenia, Blade of Mikola.
I know. But it feels like, if she waterfowls me, either I avoid it or I'm dead and the fight is just over. But if she waterfalls my ashes, it's like, boom. Just gigantic health pack. And also the fight can continue. I'll try one more time. If I don't get to phase 2 here, then I will, just like last time, give her her own video. But again, it's like, is she overtuned? Yes, absolutely. She is Malekith on drugs. It's like the developers looked at Malekith and went, what if we did this, but with like 4 times the health bar? And with a much better and more consistent one-shot. And a self-heal. I did that too early to knock her down. That's when you use it to knock her down. Okay. I was about to say, if you do it a 3rd time in a row... Alright, waterfowl. That is not the direction I rolled. I hate when that happens. When you roll forward, but you're locked on. And so the game's like, lol, you roll backwards now. Okay. It did it again. It did it again. It did it again. I roll one direction, and the game's like, well, you're locked on, and so you're going to roll the other direction. That is bullshit. 99% of the time, if I roll into the enemy, and then go blah, 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 that's why. And if it isn't that, then it was just us happening to go the same direction, usually when they dodge. You can hear me annihilating this button, but okay. Okay. Already down to 3 heals. And she's not even half health. Because Malenia does Malenia things. Again. One single balance change. Make it so she doesn't get health from ashes. Do that one change, and she will be still one of the hardest fights in the entire series. But I think she'd be a lot more manageable. Because ashes would no longer just be health packs. They would be like an actual tool that you can use. Okay. You are awful. okay, you're awful. But yeah, it's just one small change that I feel like they could do. I feel like they could fully implement that in like a single afternoon. And it'd make the game, or it'd make this fight so much more bearable. And it'd be really easy. It'd be so easy to implement. And it would make sense. Like, from a lore perspective. Because ashes are things that are dead. She's getting health back from hitting things. But you wouldn't get health back from hitting something that's... Like, you wouldn't get life back from taking it from something that is dead. It's like... I don't know, that just makes sense to me. It just makes sense to me. It's like, my problem isn't with waterfowl itself, because you can learn to dodge it. Whatever. You can learn to dodge a waterfowl. That's not my problem. My problem is with how she basically only uses it on my ashes. And I know I'm not winning this, by the way. But my problem is with how she only uses it on my ashes, never on me, unless my ashes are dead, and she can only use it on me. Or she only uses it on me when I'm right next to her, and so there's no escape. Which I know people have found, like, freezing pots. I think I've heard that, but I've never seen a Battlemage use a freezing pot. And I've arbitrarily decided that no. So... Yep.
Malenia,
Like I said,
Blade of Mikola.
I knew I wasn't gonna beat her. But again, just one tiny, eensy-weensy grain of sand level of change. Make it so she can't get health back from ashes. Period. Done. End of story. She would stop being broken instantly. And I would have no problem with her then. But, yeah.